Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it is time for my annual bookshelf tour. I'm so excited to film this video, even though it's probably going to take a very long time, but I just love showing you guys my bookshelf. And this has been my bookshelf for quite a few months now. I've unhauled quite a few books a while back, so these are really all of the books that I want to read, that I love, and I can't wait to show you my bookshelf. I will first give a little brief overview, and then I'm just going to go through every single shelf and show you some books, like highlight some books. I'm not going to do every single book separately, but just like a casual vlog style video. So I really hope you're going to like it. Please give this video a big thumbs up because it really helps my channel. And yes, without further ado, let's just take a look at my bookshelf. Okay, so this is most of my bookshelf. As you can see, I just have a lot of different shelves, and then at the top I also have a lot of little trinkets and things, and down at the bottom I have more. So I'm just going to go through every shelf now. And as you can see, it is behind my bed because I didn't have any space somewhere else. My bed is not well made, oh my god, but this actually works so well. And then I also have this little shelf that is just my bedside tables. Without further ado, let's do a little close-up. Okay, so I'm going to start right there. So this is one of my YA fantasy bookshelves. I don't really know if the popular is YA fantasy, but it is just there. So as you can see, I have a lot of Shadowhunter books here. So the Infernal Devices, all of the Mortal Instruments. Yes, my City of Heavenly Fire copy does not match with the rest of the series, but it doesn't bother me anymore. Then I have the Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. This is very dusty, oh my goodness, which is a short story collection. And then of course the Dark Artifices, the big Queen of Eyre and Darkness. This book is so massive. And then here I have this little origami star that I made out of book pages. I think it looks really cool. And then here I have a fake plant that is covering my Six of Crows books. So of course Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. Yes, this one is a paperback and the other one is a hardback. It used to bother me a lot if my series didn't match, but now it actually doesn't bother me anymore, which is great. Then up here I have this amazing mug that a friend of mine made for me. It says it's Leviosa. And then on the inside, oh, there are still some papers for like a book challenge, but it says 9 3/4, but you can't really see it. Then I have Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm, the first two books in the Grisha trilogy, the entire Extinction Trials. The writer S.M. Wilson mentioned me in the back because I always talked very highly of her books, and I really love the Extinction Trials so much, so definitely check out this series. It's about dinosaurs. And then of course we have the Hunger Games, which I've read many times, as you can see from the broken spines. Then down here I have my second YA fantasy shelf again. I don't think if all the books are necessarily YA fantasy, but oh well. So first of all we have Sight that I recently finished. Oh my god, it was so good. Then I have Girls of Paper and Fire, and then Marie Ashes series, and then Marie Ashes, A Torch Against the Night, and A Reaper at the Gates, all by Sabata here. This is really cute. So this is a bookmark that I got in a book box once, and then this amazing little jar with all of these lucky paper stars was sent to me by a viewer once. Oh my god, I absolutely love it. And then I have Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I'm so excited to read this book. Then I have The Wrath and the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ardier. These have some of my most favorite covers. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. And then I have The Diviners by Libba Bray, as well as Lair of Dreams and Before the Devil Breaks You. Again, these don't match, but I don't care anymore. I have A Curse of Dark and Lonely by Bridget Camera. I've yet to read this one, but I really want to read it. It's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And then I have the Lunar Chronicles and Ferris, the companion novel about the Bad Queen. I love this book. It was really great. Also really like the series. Then I have this really cute little tile, or is it like a coaster, I think. This is from Oliver Bonus. I got this one for Christmas and it says B, so it is just on here. Then I have Het Schaduwjaar, or The Grace Year in English. I've not read this one yet, but I'm very intrigued. And Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi, Barthamus, The Amulet of Samarkand, and Spin the Dawn. I'm so excited to read this. I recently got this from a viewer. Thank you so much. Then here is my classic shelf, or like mostly classics. So I have these massive Shakespeare books. I got these from my grandfather after he passed away. This is the biggest book ever. It is just so difficult finding like a good I should have like a banana for scale. But let's just say that this is a normal book, and this is how big it is, and it's also just so big. Okay, so these two Shakespeare books, Les Miserables, I am still reading it. I've been reading this one since 2016. This is really bad. Then I have The Phantom of the Opera. This is a really cool cover. And then I have some secondhand books that I got because I just thought I needed some Charles Dickens in my life, even though I've never read it before. So Our Mutual Friend, Great Expectations, and I have Peter Pan by Jane Barrie, Margaret Atwood, The Handmaid's Tale, some George Orwell, Animal Farm and 1984. And then To Kill a Mockingbird, I'm changing my arms because I'm getting a very tired arm from holding this camera. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I've not read this yet. Oops. Then I have some of these little black classics from Penguin. So Walt Whitman, Lewis Carroll and Charles Dickens. And then I have this cute fake plant because I suck at keeping plants alive. Although that one is growing. Oh my god, this one is called Arthur. And Arthur is growing like crazy. But this is a fake plant. And then back there I have the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child program from the musical, or like the play, when I saw it in London. Then here I have some of these beautiful Penguin library editions. I love these so much. I have Middlemarch by George Eliot. Not read this one yet. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, as well as Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. I love these covers so much. Oh my god. And then this is probably one of my favorite books on my shelf. This amazing cloth-bound edition of The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, one of my favorite books, as well as The Importance of Being Earnest, another copy of The Picture of Dorian Gray, Oscar Wilde's Fairy Tales, and this beautiful edition of The Importance of Being Earnest and Other Plays, also by Oscar Wilde. And then I have here some more classics, so Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, one of these paper stars again. This is a really cool edition of Little Women, The Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham, The Great Gatsby and Frankenstein. This is not really a classic, but it's just here. This is Just Kids by Patti Smith. Then I have Rebecca, and lastly Orlando by Virginia Woolf. Then we are going down another shelf, and this is where all of my Erin Morgenstern books are, as well as a lip balm and hand cream that I always use at night. But of course 2 editions of The Starless Sea and then 4 editions of The Night Circus, because I just, oh, The Night Circus is one of my favorite books. And again, oh, there it goes, a little paper star. And back there I have a photo of my mum and a bookshelf card that I once got from my grandma. So cute. And then here I have just some little trinkets. I got this little Buddha statue from a colleague of mine at my internship from a couple of years back. I think it's really cute. Then my mum got me this really fun turtle painting, and this one is one I got for my birthday. It's like a London map. So cute. And then back there I have this really cool mug. It says Bibliophile with all of my bookmarks that I've designed. These are a lot of duplicates, it's not like all different ones, but these are all that I designed myself. I sell them in my Etsy store, so if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link down below. Let me see, and here are some books that intimidate me, or, well, I've read Night Film by Marisha Pessel, but these 2 books intimidate the hell out of me. We have Weeded Round by Carsten Jensen, amazing cover, as well as A Little Life. And then down here I have some of the books that I'm currently reading, as well as some books that are still on my TBR for this month. I'm still reading this book. I've been reading this one for a very long time. It is a short history of nearly everything. It takes me so long because I'm annotating everything and I just want to remember it. Hence why I'm still reading this one. Then I have Emma by Jane Austen and The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. And here's the book that I'm currently reading by the time I'm filming this. It is called Where the Crawdads Sing. Then I have The Bee and the Nightingale, which is also on my TBR for this month, as well as A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf and Mrs. Dalloway, also by Virginia Woolf. Okay, then from that shelf we're going all the way to this shelf. So this is my little sci-fi shelf. First of all, I have this little Titanic scale model that I made with my dad a long time ago. I was so obsessed with Titanic, with the original story as well as with the film. And then I have Children of Time, the Illuminae files. I've yet to read Gemini and Obsidio, but I loved Illuminae. And here I have the complete collection of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books by Douglas Adams. Then I have one of my favorite books, Sleeping Giants by Sylvan Newell. So amazing, as well as book 2 and book 3. And yes, neither of these match. Oops. Then I have The Martian by Andy Weir. I really want to reread this. I've read this so many years ago, but I can't stop thinking about it, and I always love this book, but I've only read it once. And then I have The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, also one of my favorite books. I just love sci-fi. Then down here I have my non-fiction shelf, like mostly non-fiction. Here I have all of my books about science, so they go all the way to like here. I have this really fun book about exploring the night sky with stars and constellations. Then I have this really amazing book called Women in Science. This is about 50 fearless pioneers who changed the world, and it's all women. Highly recommend this book. I loved it. Then I have some books about Stephen Hawking and Einstein. I got these also from my grandfather. This is full of essays from Stephen Hawking. This is like a book about Einstein. This is a biography, I believe. I haven't read this one yet. And then I have the Dutch version of A Brief History of Time, this one, but then in Dutch by Stephen Hawking. And this is one of my favorites, Brief Answers to the Big Questions. So interesting. Then I have this really fun book. It's called The Upright Thinkers by Leonard Moldenhoff. Again, a very fun and interesting book about science and just the world. Then I have this beautiful one, Neil deGrasse Tyson's Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. It's like a quick explanation of astrophysics, super interesting as well. Then I have this one that I haven't read yet. It is called The Universe in Your Hands. So excited to read this because it is a journey through space, time and beyond, and I'm so excited. I'm so interested in space and time. Then I have this poetry collection called Reverie, as well as this poetry collection Killiverse. This is also a sort of poetry collection or like full of stories. A friend of mine made this at her school and I illustrated. I don't know if you can see, not very well, but I made the illustrations in this book. So this is super cool that my illustrations are in this school project. And then I have this Hungry Ghost Festival by Jen Campbell and this beautiful book called Pocket Universe Beginnings. This is an anthology also of poems and stories from a friend of mine at her school. Then I have this book. This is not a non-fiction book actually. This is called Housefire. It's a very feminist story. I'm really excited to read this. And I have this one, Women Who Run with the Wolves, Myths and Stories of the Wild Woman Archetype. I've not read this one yet. This is one of my favorite non-fiction books. It is called In Order to Live by Yeonmi Park. A very interesting story about North Korea. And lastly I have Invisible Women. Not read this one yet either, but I really want to read it soon. Then next up I have this shelf with my plant Arthur. This one holds a little Mia Corvera candle from Nevernight, but I DNF Nevernight, but the candle's cute. Then I have my Taylor Jenkins Reid books, so Evelyn Hugo, as well as 2 copies of Daisy Jones and the Six. And then here I have the 3 books by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling, so Cuckoo's Calling, The Silkworm and Career of Evil. The 4th book is already out, but I haven't picked that one up yet. And then down here I have most of my books about the World Wars, Ian McEwan, Atonement. I haven't read this one yet, but these are my 2 books by Ruta Sepetys, so Salt to the Sea and Between Shades of Grey. Then my favorite World War book, World War like historical fiction book, The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. Oh my god, it's so good. Then I have The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. Not read this one yet, but I really want to read it. Then, of course, The Book Thief and The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. And then my most recent historical fiction one, The Tattooist of Auschwitz. Again, a little Buddha statue that I got from someone. This really cool old camera that belonged to my father. And then this really cute little glass sea turtle, because sea turtles are my favorite animal. And then down here is the last shelf on this tiny bookshelf. These are just some adult books. Down here I have Burial Rites by Hannah Kent, Arcadia by Ian Pearce. These are 2 non-fiction books about the importance of kindness and also about some mindfulness exercises. Really interesting. Then I have this beautiful edition of A Monster Calls. This is a like an illustrated edition. Then I have Wilder Girls, Chocolate. I got this one from my grandma. She always had it on her shelf, but because I was really in love with Johnny Depp back then, I got it from her. So sweet. Then I have Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, as well as An American Marriage, and one of my most anticipated reads, oh my god, Middle Game by Shauna McQuire. I am so excited to read this book. And then I have another cool old camera. I believe this one belonged to my grandfather actually, and this really beautiful box set belonged to my great grandmother. After she passed away I also got this one. There's nothing in here. And lastly I have this really cool little book quote. I can't remember from which book it was. I think it's Little Women. That's cool. And then we're going to my last shelf here. So again, we're going to start at the top. This is where I keep, again, some random books, some Dutch books, some graphic novels, some whatever. Let's just go through all of it. So up here I have all of my Joker comics. So The Killing Joke, Joker, Batman the White Knight, and Batman the Man Who Laughs. Then here I have this really cute little sort of Christmas ornament, but it says B, so I'm just gonna keep it here. Then I have my very first English book ever. My grandfather gave this to me because he wanted me to read some English books, and it is called Creatures of the Night. It is a graphic novel, and this means so much to me because it was my very first English book. Then I have one of my favorite children's books. It's called A House with Seven Rooms by Joke van Leeuwen, and this really beautiful book about London. It is just I like the way it looks. I haven't read it, but it just looks really beautiful. And then I have Hearts von Inked or Ink Heart by Cornelia Funk. Then another little fake blonde and some Harry Potter notebooks. I don't know why they're here, oh well. And then I have the Wicked Witch series, but this is the Dutch one. And these books have velvet covers. Oh my god, so amazing. Then I have two Dutch classics, so Crusade in Jeans and A Letter to the King, but I have these in Dutch. I have to say I have never read these. Oopsie. Then I have a lot of notebooks here, and this is one of my favorite notebooks. This is my Harry Potter notebook, and I wrote, it's like a journal in which I put a lot of stories about my time when I studied in London, and this little envelope with a lot of autographs from celebrities whom I met in London. And then I have my massive journal that is completely full. As you can see, it's so wide. And I've started a new one actually. This is just where I keep all of my concert tickets and just tickets about anything, like everywhere I went to I put it in here. Then I have this photo album which is about my time in Australia and New Zealand in 2017, as well as another notebook, a little photo album, and then I have my Game of Thrones behind the scenes books, really interesting, as well as a Titanic book behind the scenes, and these are all of my musical like program booklets, which like all the musicals I went to, I always want to buy one of those programs because I like that, to look back at it. Les Miserables, of course. So yes, this is just a very random shelf. Then down here I have my high fantasy shelf and just a random Peaky Blinders book. First I have lots of candles from Grace and Honey. Oh my god, definitely check out her candles, they are amazing. Cozy Fall Reads, Dracarys, and just one more chapter. And this little Piggy Bank. And then back here I have all of the A Song of Ice and Fire books, as well as this amazing illustrated edition of A Game of Thrones. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. As well as this brick Priory of the Orange Tree. I have yet to read it. Then I have a photo of me and Michelle at, I believe this was Les Miserables in London. And then the Mistborn trilogy, I'm so excited to read this, oh my god. And the A Lord of the Rings series with The Hobbit as well. I've only yet to read Return of the King. Then I have this really cool thing. This is one of those book lights. Oh my god, I nearly dropped it. Let's see if I can open it with one hand. Look how cool this looks. Oh my god, I love this. And then I have The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson and this behind the scenes of Peaky Blinders. Really fun book about the TV show. And then going down I have my two Harry Potter shelves because I have so many Harry Potter books, of course. First, this amazing page to screen book. This is one of my favorite Harry Potter books. It is massive, so heavy, but this is all about the films and how they made it so interesting. Then I have the original UK editions as well as these beautiful 20th anniversary editions and these little books as well, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and Quidditch the 3 Ages, and the speech that J.K. Rowling gave, I believe at Harvard, about the benefits of failure and the importance of imagination. Then I have the unofficial Harry Potter cookbook, really funny, and these beautiful illustrated editions, as well as like a history of magic and film wizardry and all these behind the scenes books that are really cool, but that I never really read. Oops. Then up here I have two wands. I have Ron's wand as well as Newt Scamander's wand, and here I have some of these notebooks. Look how cool. They're like the textbooks. So amazing. And then here I have this little perfume bottle that I got from my great grandmother again after she passed away. This fun sort of howler that I made myself because I had this envelope and it looked exactly like a howler, so I made this little calligraphy on there. I have this beautiful sunflower card that a viewer of mine sent me. So beautiful. And why won't it stay? And then I have this really fun stone. It looks like the Philosopher's Stone. It's just the wrong color, but it is so cool. I got this from someone. And then a little snitch. Golden snitch. This is actually a lip balm, but it looks like a golden snitch, so that's really cool. And then this little Harry Potter music box. And then down here I also have a music box, and then my Dutch editions of Harry Potter. I have two of the first ones, as you can see. Then another one of my English editions, the ones that I usually read. However, I'm now reading these ones and then I'm annotating everything. But these are the ones that I've read the most. And then here I have this amazing sunflower mug, aka my favorite mug. I have two editions in Spanish because I saw them at a thrift store for like €1, so I thought, why not? Then I have the two completely unnecessary screenplays from the Fantastic Beasts books and the Cursed Child script, and a little Tales of Beedle the Bard, as well as these fun notebooks, like school books from Hogwarts, but I haven't written anything in there yet. And then my last shelf already, this is like my contemporary and middle grade shelf. So first of all, these are two books that I've unhauled, but I still have to give them to someone. Then I have All I Know Now by Carrie Hope Fletcher, The House with Chicken Legs, let me see, Matilda, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. These really amazing Meth Haig Christmas books, like a middle grade Christmas books. How to Stop Time and Meth Haig, I'll Give You the Sun, All the Right Places. Up here I have 2 more books that I got in a book box. They're called The Good Hawk and The Pure Heart. Sounds really interesting. Then I have a photo of some woman in my life that I absolutely adore. The Fault in Our Stars, Wonder, and Baker's Magic. And then my 2 Becky Albertelli books. So The Upside of Unrequited, Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. Let me see, The Hate You Give, Me Before You, Perks of Being a Wallflower, one of my favorite books. This is a Dutch book called Truth or Dance by Chinook Thijssen. Then Aristotle and Dante and Anna and the French Kiss. This really fun, cute, tiny book called All My Friends Are Superheroes. And then finally my Alice Oseman book, so the 2 Heartstopper books, and then Radio Silence. I've yet to read this one. I'm so excited. Okay, so this was my entire shelf, but now we're going up to the top because there are also some little bits and bobs at the top of my shelf. Okay, so first of all, here I have this little frame that has a Passenger autograph as well as Johnny Depp's autograph when I met him in London, like in 2013. Oh my god, that's a very long time ago. I went to a premiere there. Then I have this cute sort of puzzle type thing from London a friend of mine gave to me, and then this beautiful photographic history. It's like a history of beautiful photographs throughout the world. That was really cool. Then I have this fake plant again, but it is in like a skull bottle. I think it looks really cool, and this is like a perfect fake plant. I really like this. Then I have this really cool sort of Chinese detailed sort of artwork that again I got from my grandfather after he passed away. Then I have this book about the fire of London. Again, these are all books like from my grandfather. These are all non-fiction books, but I've never read them, but they just look really cool. Then I have Science Fiction in the 20th Century and Illustrated History, again from my grandfather. Again, a Buddha statue that I got from someone, and this Butterbeer mug with a lot of bookmarks. There are just some random bookmarks in here, and back there is like a plant pot. I don't know why it's there. Then here I have this Piggy Bank that is like a velvet skull. I'm obsessed with this. There's just no money in there, but it just looks really cool. Again, these are some books of my grandfather as well as this cool old camera that belonged to him. These are 2 roses that were actually on one of the bouquets from his funeral, and that is like 8 years ago, and they're still like going strong. They're completely dried, but that looks so cool, and it's just a really beautiful memory, like a sad memory, but also very beautiful as well. Natalie, one of my best friends, and me at the Harry Potter studio tour, and then another mug full of bookmarks, like a Butterbeer mug. Why is it out of focus? I'm sorry. Another Butterbeer mug, as you can see, and then another fake plant, but fake plants are the best because they don't die. Well, I definitely don't have to train my arms today because my arms are so dead from holding that camera. But this was my entire bookshelf. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell so you'll always be notified whenever I upload a new video. If you have any questions about my bookshelf, whatever, let me know in the comments. I don't know what questions you might have, but if you do have any, let me know in the comments. But I really hope you liked this video. Also, you can follow me on my social media and my Patreon. I will link everything down below in the description so you can check it out. And last but not least, I really hope you have a very amazing day, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!